Blessings, everybody out there in the universe. My name is Sean Myrie, and I'm your host of the Down to Earth podcast. We're going to talk about some not recent news, but this is what's been going on in the universe for the last couple of weeks. Big controversy about Kanye West making remarks towards the Jewish community. He lost a lot of his big, you know, not sponsors, but companies that invested in him, Adidas. It keeps going and going. I don't know all the companies that he's associated with, but I didn't hear his record contract. He didn't lose his record contract. But now there's Kyrie Irving, basketball player, well known champion, was on the Cleveland Cavaliers with LeBron. Now he's on the Brooklyn Nets. He mentioned about black people being the original Israelites, and um, he was referring to a book or a movie that he watched called what's called The Negroes or something. Something I don't really remember the name of the book, but it's a book was talking about and black people, that we are one of the lost tribes of Israel, right? It's a book talking about that we are one of the lost tribes of Israel, that we are the original, and the people that you see now that call themselves Jews are really just Europeans and recent converts. That's what I'm guessing what's in this movie, because this is nothing new. What I haven't heard before from the Nation of Islam, from the black Israelites in America, from the Moors, from the Rastafarians, a lot of black conscious or organizations, right? It's been around a long time. People been talking about things like this a long time, many documentaries, many lectures. Um, just look it up. Look it up online, do your research on a lot of these black leaders. They've been saying these things forever. And the only reason that it's getting attention right now, because of social media is more bigger than ever, and the individuals who are talking about this are really famous, right? And they're influential. So Kyrie Irving lost his Nike contract. He lost his Nike contract, right? Because of his what he had mentioned or his beliefs. And they basically want him to apologize for what he's mentioned in the media. So it's like it's called modern day lynching. It's a modern day lynching. So I had an earlier episode of saying, like, what did he say wrong, right? And I said I seen many different people with their perspectives on this subject. So he mentioned saying that most of the people who control or influence the music industry are Jewish, come from the Jewish community, right? It's like we're saying anybody from any other culture, if they have influence in some type of industry. That's reality. So I seen this post with this Asian brother. He was basically, and they're straight up. He was basically saying that, showing a chart of all the companies, the major companies all around the world, especially in America. And he was showing the names of who owns these companies. And the heritage of these people are Jewish. So what's wrong with just pointing that out? Is that anti-Semitic? I really want to know. But every time a black man speaks, no matter what, speaks, right? There's an issue. Every time a black man speaks, there's an issue, and they want to basically crucify you. But anybody else who says something against a community, you're not seeing the same energy happen to them. Now, let me bring up another character, very influential, Eminem. So Eminem, right? And I heard this about a couple of years ago that there's footage of him, right? Old footage of him saying the N word. It was all over social media, making people know, inform. And he did not deny it. And look, they didn't take nothing away from him. He mentioned something about homosexuals, right? They talked about it. They didn't take nothing away from him. He didn't get the same energy Kanye West is getting. And Eminem is big, very big and influential. But that didn't happen to him, right? So the list goes on. Mr. Trump. Trump spoke many times about minorities, spoke many times about women, many different groups. He has a lot of companies, right? He even made influence people to storm the White House. No jail, no charges, no nothing. Mr. Trump. May we keep going on and on. There's so much, let's be straight up, Caucasian people who get away with saying what's on their mind. But soon as black people speak up, it's either you get assassinated or they're going to destroy your character. They will destroy your character. People like me, a free thinker, they don't like. That's why on social media, they will shadow ban me in any type of way because I'm going against what they call the grain or the system, which I know about their whole system. So black men cannot speak up only if you're entertaining them, only if you're performing musical works and recording, only if you are playing sports and after you're finished, you got to speak about the game. And you could speak bad about another, like, another player, like, and that won't really be anything. It'll just be like play. I'm just saying, the black man, when he speaks, or when we speak, right? It's an issue. It's a problem. Kanye West, he says a lot of things, right? He says a lot of things. But when it's how he says it. And when you look it up, he's not talking any bull. He's not talking no bull. He's speaking the truth. Just rolling up some weed, right? We are a threat. Look, Malcolm X assassinated, right? Martin Luther King assassinated. Now, if you're kind of a little bit, swift, or you could see things before they come, they can't get you, but they'll assassinate your character, like Marcus Garvey. Like many black leaders, they have assassinated their character so no one could take them seriously, right? So the culture of what's going on in the media and black people, they want all of us to be more dumbed down. They want us to be dumbed down. The ultimate weapon is knowledge, right? And spreading the knowledge. For example, now, in China, with TikTok, because it's created from them, they only let their children use that for about 40 minutes. That's it, a limited time use. But they basically sell it to America, and Americans, they use that all day. So people want to talk about war, about, oh, damn, they always talk about China and Russia. Oh, there's going to be a war and stuff like that, nuclear weapons. No. It's not physical weapons, it's mental weapons they're using. Because meanwhile, their children get a limited time, right, on social media, and they're focusing on more important stuff, right, like science and technology. We over here, or the people over here in America, are focused on are more focused on using the technology and using it in a way that's not benefiting really the mass, right? It's dumbing down. As much as it's technology, it's dumbing down the people for generations to come. So I ask you, universe, what will happen in the next 20 or 40 years to Western civilization compared to over there, the East? You know what? I know what will happen. We will be, well, many will be so much under a system and dumbed down that they will believe in every single thing that's told to them through these platforms, which is happening right now. It's happening right now. The brain drain. See, like, knowledge is power. You heard that before. Knowledge is power. It's true. Knowledge is power. It's very strong. Very strong out there. So, when a black man speaks up, it's an issue. I see Farrakhan, bless up to Minister Farrakhan, starting to speak again. He disappeared for, not say he disappeared, but he's been quiet for a good while. And now, these two subjects, issues that have came up, of Kanye basically getting bashed, and Kyrie Irving getting bashed or crucified, and and for the reason which he dislikes, I can imagine, because he has mentioned the same thing like Kanye and like Kyrie, if not more detailed, right? I think the book is called The Book of Negroes. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Book of Negroes, right? Rolling the spliff. The Book of Negroes, very controversial. It's on Amazon for now. They have the movie, right? So Kyrie, I guess they wanted him to apologize or something like that. I haven't heard the apology if he has apologized, but they're basically doing a public lynching. They have a list of demands what he must do, and he basically, it's like some type of sensitivity training type of style they want to do. But we're talking so much about what they have done, but we're never pointing out what people have done to us, and they still are doing. You see it every day through the media, all the time. The black man and the black nation gets crucified. We get crucified. And if you have an opinion, they're going to make you look like a crazy person, a crazy individual, right? So, all these corporations that's pulling away from Kanye or Kyrie because this is a way to basically send a message, right? It's like the whole Willie Lynch thing, right? They're gonna have to set the example to many to keep them quiet. So what these two individuals have mentioned is such a threat that by taking away these contracts, the money, right? Because that's what they feel black people really love, right? Is going to work. It will work perfectly. And then you have, you know, how they do, they turn us against each other, the Willie Lynch. Then you have the coonery coming in. You got people like Shaq, well respected, rich, wealthy man. And then you got, what's his name? The next one, Charles Barkley, right? Talking about Kyrie. saying he's this and that, calling him names because he stands up for his rights. So you guys don't like Malcolm X. You guys are the definition of the house nigger, right? You're not field niggers. Like I heard a lot of people mention, you could have all the money in the world. That don't mean that you're not a fraud. You could have all the money in the world. That don't mean that you're not a fraud, right? I guarantee if it was popular, like the what in the like the what's called, you would say, in the 60s and the 70s, the Black Power movement, you guys wouldn't be talking like this. You guys would not be talking like this. You guys betray your own. You see? Because you see a black man speak, he didn't put out any threats that he's going to kill anybody. He did not do anything like that. Right? Kyrie or Kanye, they didn't say they're going to kill anybody. But still, they're treated like murderers. They're stripping them of all financial property or investments, what they were a part of. Right? This is a way to send a message to the younger ones and the ones who are older too, to stay in place and not speak. This is what they want. This is what they want. And will it continue? Let's see. Let's see when the shoe is on the other foot. If somebody comes out again and mentions something about black people and their celebrity or influencer or whatever, and let's see if they're going to do the same type of lynching they're doing to Kanye and Kyrie. Because there's been a couple examples, but they swept them under the rug. It was a little bit mild. Roseanne, remember Roseanne? The guy from Friends? You remember that guy from Friends? I don't even remember his name. But there's been a couple, like I said, Donald Trump, um, even Howard Stern. Howard Stern said a whole bunch of stuff about black people over the years, and he had even someone who's a black host on his show. I used to watch Howard Stern way back in the day. This man said a whole heap of stuff about black people and other people, and he still has a platform. I didn't see anybody take away anything from him. Howard Stern. Look him up. You know, you got YouTube here, right? Look up Howard Stern before they take that off. Like they want to take off that movie, right? That Kyrie was referring to. That black people are Israelites. That made a lot of people mad. Isn't there 12 tribes? Correct me if I'm wrong. Is all the 12 tribes from one place? Is all the 12 tribes from one place? People, do your research for yourself. And don't just listen to social media. Go to a library, even maybe just Google, right? I think certain people are getting upset because certain secrets is going to unravel. That yes, there is black Jews, right? In Egypt, there is a group called the Falashas. Falashas. I think they're in Ethiopia too. The Falasha Hebrews, right? They've been around for forever. People can't even date where they're the time they came around, or they have the Star of David in a lot of their jewelry. The Star of David they wear. So check it out. I already know there is black Israelites, Hebrews, or if you want to call it Jewish. I knew about that a long time ago. And not through social media, through reading books, right? So, like I'm saying, the black man cannot speak. There's always an issue if we speak out. They either assassinate us physically or mentally. And now they want to do it with economics. Take away your money, your livelihood. So Marcus Garvey was right that we need to depend on ourselves to be independent, to have our own economy. Maybe when they had all this what's called again, back in the days they had segregation, that was better, that made us stronger, more independent. And then when everybody came together, or they tried to put everybody together, it made it worse for us. Did it make it better for us? Did it make it better for us? Right? So now we have to depend on their basketball league, their baseball league, their music industry, their everything. But when segregation was around, black people had their own banks, they had their own baseball leagues, they had everything their own. Right? Not saying there ain't no black companies right now or black universities in America or stuff, but we have to share everything with everybody else. But the, the other way around, no. No. So when the black man speaks, it's a problem. Trust me. It's an issue. I rather stand for something than nothing. There's a lot of ignorant people, right? There's a lot of ignorant people out there who are part of, I would say, my race or culture, who don't care to hear about issues like what I'm talking about, because they're the ones who are the sheeple. Those are the ones that Willie Lynch letter is really working, like it's working on them after over hundreds of years or whatever, right? It's working on them. So people like me is the enemy, because I'm waking up. I'm waking up people who are sleeping. I'm waking up people who are sleeping, not just black, everybody. So look it up, do your research, go to those libraries, Google online, look up black Israelites. I'm not talking about just the ones in America, because you're going to see certain things on YouTube that could, confuse you. I'm talking about the ones from the motherland and the connection to where they call Israel now, right? Just look it up, because Kyrie's getting crucified, Kanye's getting crucified, and if they were speaking about their own people, they want to lose their companies. Check it out. If they were speaking about their own people, they would not lose. I mean, it was not their companies. I got to correct that. It's not their companies. I'll say it one more time. It's not their companies. These are just endorsement deals, right? But you know what I'm saying. And please subscribe to our channel. This is the realest podcast you're going to listen to, because a lot of people, or watch, a lot of people are scared to speak about these issues like moi, like me. They rather talk about a lot of foolishness that's what don't matter. I love the arts. I love music. I love, there's times to have fun, right? And you could have fun talking about history and subjects. It's called reasoning. Just got to have a balance of things, right? So look it up. They're crucifying Kyrie and Kanye, and this stuff been said years and years and years ago. Some of you weren't even born. Minister Farrakhan, right? Been speaking about these things. Even Malcolm X before, right? Many black leaders been talking about these things, lectures, look up the Moors, um, all the Black Panthers, right? They're very controversial, but they've been talking about these things and they have not been crucified. But they probably been like, or I'd say, shadow banned in some way before shadow ban was known. They've been shadow banned on Facebook, probably on Instagram, all social media. You don't see any lectures talking about any of these subjects, what I may have mentioned, and it will be looked on as hate. It would be looked on as hate, right? Those guys really go more into certain things, which I won't go that deep into, but I'm telling you that all Kanye and Kyrie had mentioned is about a group of people. And if they said something violent or aggressive, then they deserve everything they get. Then that would be hate. But they're just illustrating and identifying who controls the industry they work for. It's like saying, like I said, the Asians or the Chinese make everything that comes here. No different. It's like saying um, the Italians they're good in construction, right? Don't they do construction, right? And it's like people say about us that we are good at doing music and good at doing art, black people, and sports. Do we cancel people for that? No. That means certain programs we cannot watch because we're so sensitive. The Geraldo show can't not be shown anymore because he had a lot of subjects like this. A lot of shows from the 80s and the early 90s could not be shown because they have a lot of content with these controversial issues in it.